Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Friday. All right, guys. Well, I'm recording this before we actually do hot, messy topics. But if you guys didn't catch hot, messy topics, I know that we have a great lineup today. So make sure you go back and you be a part of that replay crew. Join into the comment section, engage, smash the like button, get subscribed. Same thing over here. Last night, did you guys watch the reunion for the Real Housewives of Orange County? Like I said, I know we're going to talk about that a little bit, but there's the drama outside of what we're seeing on camera. That's the drama that I really want to get into. So, yeah, here we go. I mean, it really doesn't stop, does it, when it comes to the Gretchen and Tamra and Shannon and Tamra, now Emily and Tamra. Damn, it's a lot for Tamra. A lot. We'll get to Vicky in a second. But this is where I really wanted to kick this off. So there was a new article that came out reporting that Gretchen Rossi does believe Tamra is responsible for liking a series of controversial posts. Now, what I thought was interesting was Jason and I were on a walk earlier this morning, and he did some digging to find out that these claims are, well, bogus. But just to give you some context, in the finale episode of the show, Gretchen was called out for allegedly liking these phobic and anti-rights posts. But Gretchen said that her castmates searched for the offending posts, but they were unable to find them. Now, I did say this before too, that doesn't mean anything. And I'm not trying to go up against Gretchen or anything like that, but it really truly doesn't mean anything, only because you can lean into the Heather McDonald's of it all, where she said, well, you could easily like a carousel of different photos. Like if somebody makes an Instagram post and there's like 9 photos attached, you could be liking a very innocent one, and then there could be other ones behind it. Or you could always go unlike the post, since she got to see the post firsthand and kind of figure out where those posts might have came from to begin with. I mean, any of this could be true, but they searched for it. Apparently they couldn't find it. And she did point out that the Twitter account which made the post is followed only by Tamra Judge. And she said that she used this as evidence linking Tamra to the account. But when she said she had like a cyber analysis come in, when Jason was talking to me about that, this is what I can't wait to share with you guys, or at least have him share, because I think he can provide more context to this. He was the one who did the digging. But having a cyber analysis, like, there's so many things that are really hard to do with that unless there's actual legal involved or the police. Even when Diana Jenkins from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, when she was somehow dragged into that whole situation about cyberbullying Garcelle's sons, she was like, I had nothing to do with that. So then she ended up subpoenaing Meta. Do you know how expensive that is? And she has the money to do that, certainly, but I don't think that Gretchen has the money to subpoena Meta at all. And I don't think that she has the connections for it. And again, neither do I, so I'm not throwing a diss at her. But Tamara, when she was confronted, she did respond saying that there's overwhelming evidence, and she implied that something definitive definitely exists. So, okay. And one of the castmates, being Jen Pedranti, who's sitting in the first chair, she recalled that the day after the likes were revealed, the energy in the group, it was sad, and Tamara appeared unusually elevated. So that also raised suspicions for her. But this would really take an evil person to concoct these phobic and also anti-rights posts. Like, this is not something that I think that anybody would want to play with. And I do go back to the fact that I feel like she's way too seasoned for this kind of stuff. I don't think there's a world, unless she's absolutely evil, and I don't believe that this came as made up content from Tamra. But also, Shannon Bedore, she admitted that she found some of the aspects of Tamara's behavior to be very puzzling. She said certain things like, it made me think, what's going on? And when Jen Pedranti shared that Gina and Emily told her not to break or show any emotion around Tamara, she said it was because if Tamara sensed anyone was onto her, she'd start spinning. So she found that especially telling. What the happened with Emily and Tamara? That's my next question. Like, Like, this turned quick. But speaking of Tamra, I know that you guys always miss some Vicky Gunvalson. I didn't see, by the way, if she was on the lineup. I really wasn't paying attention or looking to see if she was on the lineup for BravoCon. I'm not sure. I know that she's been the last few years, and that one Watch What Happens Live was actually especially comical because they were doing the squash that beef. And every time she would get up to leave the seat, she would have to come back out and take the seat again. And they'd be like, Vicky, Vicky. And she probably felt like she was working overtime, especially for somebody who was fired from the show. Not even demoted, just straight up fired from the show. Like I said, I like Vicky. So the article that came out about them said that they have officially reconciled after having this years-long feud. Now, the feud stemmed after we did the BravoCon where I believe it was the first one in Vegas. And you saw Shannon Bedore, you saw Tamra Judge, you saw Vicky. They were doing the Tres Amigas live show. And then after that, it was told, and I heard this from some people in OC too, but after that, it was told that Shannon got really annoyed with Tamra, thinking that her ego got really big. At least that's what she was claiming, and she was telling people around. And of course, that got back to Tamra. And Tamara wasn't going to be happy about that. And Tamara was probably like, at that point, what the am I doing this stupid live show for when I have the podcast Venus CBD and I don't need to do this, especially with people who apparently don't like me. Why would I be doing this? I agree. Tamara described their relationship saying, we've had a lot of ups and downs in our 20 years. And I feel like I always say that we're like sisters. And sometimes it's that love-hate relationship. And I think that we have witnessed all of that. But the turning point for Tamara was when Vicky reached out and supported Teddi Mellencamp during the cancer battle. She sent her a gift, and Tamara said, I was like, Vicky, she has a good heart, you know? I think that this watching Teddi go through the cancer, I feel like that really changed a lot for Tamara, to be honest with you. But Vicky did comment on it too, saying, I don't think either one of us apologized. We are who we are. I can't do toxic. She said, I told Tamara yesterday, you know, you guys are going into a deep, dark hole, and I hate it. Talking about the show. And she's not wrong. There's a lot of darkness on it. But when Vicky and Tamara did sit down together, their conversation, it didn't focus on the show. She said, we talked about, this is what Tamara's saying, we talked about our kids, her relationship, my relationship, that kind of stuff. So, you know, I think that we're getting to a better place. And again, love-hate relationship. We have watched this play out on the show for how long now? This is not a surprise to any of us. But we're going to get into more of this on Hot Messy Topics. Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, pop off in the comment section. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell and head on over to Hot Messy Topics because by the time this comes out, we'll have already gone live on that. Love you guys.